وهي من تتعدى على المعارضين بدورها جماعة الإخوان أصدرت تصريحا رسميا أدانت فيه الاعتداء على المساجد، أدانت فيه الاعتداء على المقدسات، وأدانت فيه الاعتداء على الشيخ المحلي، وأكدت أنها غير موجودة.
That we are either going to win together or lose separately. That is, there is no other options. Things change every day, but I think our goal has not changed. This revolution had two goals: freedom and social justice, and we haven't yet put ourselves on the right track, to achieve these two broad goals. I certainly believe that if every Egyptian or every human being, have enough to eat, feel a sense of dignity, a lot of that polarization, extremism will evaporate.
When a section of a population feels aggrieved or disappointed, if those problems are not addressed in time, then it becomes more difficult later and later and later.
I think that a key issue is for us, again, we talk about change of mindset, is that for everybody to understand is our strength is in our diversity, and India was much more diverse than Egypt. We are, I think I've come to realize that the most tolerant societies are the most diverse societies. If you look to Toronto, there's 120 nationalities living there side by side, or religion, or races, or languages. We have our own diversity. We have the Nubians, we have the people from Sinai, we have the Christian community, and irrespective of the origin of diversity, this is something positive. This is something positive. You need to be able to learn from each other, to understand that every human being coming with his own perspective, with his own profile, adds something. As we have gone through millennia, we would learn, each one has developed its own culture, tradition, religion, but all that, put it in the melting pot, and I'm sure something better will come out of that melting pot. This is a very powerful tool, a mechanism to get power, to get to power, because saying we are speaking in the name of God. And I think the most important is to tell them, no, you are not speaking in the name of God. You are speaking of your own interpretation of the word of God, which is not the only interpretation. And we have different interpretations, and interpretation that is much more enlightened in our view, that is much more cogent to the present day reality.
I mentioned that in 1947, when India was partitioned, there were killings also. But simultaneously, a great number of ordinary people, whether they were Hindus or Muslims or Sikhs, they protected fellow human beings. Muslims protected Hindus, Hindus protected Muslims. This happened on a very large scale. This is the underreported story of that time. And this only confirms what Dr. ElBaradei was saying earlier, that human beings, yes, they may have a religious aspect to their life, to their identity, but they also are citizens and they are human beings. When some political figures said that Islam was in danger, and this appeal became quite strong, and it was well received by some sections. So yes, the religion was very strongly imported into the political discussion, and that created a very deep divide. As the world knows, in the end, in 1947, there were great incidents of violence, and maybe 500,000 people were killed.
So if we do it right, we can change, in my view, a hell of a lot in this part of the world, and by simply acting as a role model, by thinking actually as a locomotive for change. If we fail, I think we are going to continue to see a lot of insecurity and instability in this part of the world, because hope is the nourishment right now.
Yes.
And that we have to keep that torch very much shining. You have to work with whatever you get, but essentially, I am very much aware that we are at a point, when we need soon a change of generation, because this is a long march.